Hey friends, welcome back to the channel with more Westworld. This is the Season 3 finale, and Caleb is on a warpath after finding out last time that he was forced to kill Francis. He's got this plan from Solomon. We don't know what it is yet. I wonder what it could be at the moment. I'm excited to see how he executes it, and I'm excited to see what side everybody winds up on. Maeve, I don't know what she's gonna do. William, Bernard, Stubbs, I don't know what they're gonna do either. So yeah, lots of uncertainty, lots of things to look forward to. If you guys want to watch the full reaction, or you want to watch episodes a week early, which isn't the case for this show, but maybe for movies or other shows I'm watching, you can check out Patreon in the link in the description below. And come check out the Discord. We'll talk about this show, other things, other shows I watch, movies, what have you. So come check it out. I'll include it in the comments as well. But otherwise, let's get started.
Some people see the ugliness in this world. I was taught to see the beauty. But I was taught a lie. But in the end, my path has led me here. Do you?
She's still there? Caleb left her there? Oh! Oh!
SMPD, don't move!
Oh!
Isn't it great seeing old friends?
This is the last
You're one of her copies, too.
copies. Oh, wow.
Whatever your plan is, I don't want to play a part in it.
You've already been playing the part. And the most important one. I'm not the one you need to talk to.
What's this?
Something to help you on your journey. But you have to go see her first.
Property of Delos. You're not gonna show us? Oh. Oh, it is her, okay. The older version of her. Oh, that's why it's property of Delos.
The people who built both of our worlds shared one assumption. That human beings don't have free will. Free will does exist, Caleb. It's just fucking hard.
Quick question. Shouldn't you put on the upper part before you put on the lower part?
You're alive.
She's tearing up.
So worried about you.
Wait, no, her.
Where are you?
I've decided to consolidate our affairs.
Oh, shoot.
If you want me to trust you, let me inside your mind.
She took her chances going the other way. Oh. She's just standing there. Yeah.
They built us to last.
Oh, she went flying.
And what you do will be up to you. As long as you don't try to stop me.
What now?
You put me in charge of Delos. And you took measures to ensure that you could control me. Why would I do any different? Goodbye, Dolores.
He caught it and threw it back. Hey!
I need to get to inside. I'm gonna bring down the entire system with this.
Here's your ride.
I'm back on crowd control.
Bye, Marshawn Lynch. Oh. What?
Can I help you?
Sorry, I was sent here to see her.
Oh. Dolores sent him here?
I hear his laugh, and
odd times, it startles me. Seems so real. I can't let him go.
If you love someone, why would you ever let them go?
Dolores knew she would have this impact on him? But why? Well...
Bring yourself back
online.
The data from the Dallas Immortality Project. You have the only key. I was hoping it wouldn't come to this. Proceed.
With
Memory
what?
by memory.
Oh no! That feels so wrong. Is he here? He's here already. Like he's about to finish this. Oh, I was like, they sent so little people after him as an assassin. Oh. Well, not a very good one.
So where are you? Final confrontation?
Confrontation implies you have a chance of winning. No one plays with a large ball, darling.
Large ball.
Why do you think she's had you retrieve a new strategy? Did she tell you what it does? Go on, ask it. Ask Rehoboam.
Mass casualty events.
Population collapse.
Collapse.
Oof.
End of human civilization. Why me?
Oh, for fuck's sake. For the size of the thing, it doesn't have much finesse, does it? Why are you still fighting? You let them have their world. We can make our own. She doesn't have the key. It's just a memory.
You were together for days. She chose you to be a leader, so did she tell you where the key is?
Your system has watched every decision I've made since I was a child. And you still think if I knew anything that I would give it to you?
Kill him here, then dump his body with the rest of the movement. Finish it. Erase what's left.
No, no!
Some people choose to see the ugliness in this world. The disarray.
Maybe they shouldn't exist. But is that really our decision to make?
No.
Wow.
You don't have the key, do you?
Couldn't trust myself with it. So I gave it to someone I could. You haven't picked a side. So many of my memories were ugly. But the things I held on to until the end weren't the ugly ones.
Let's go.
There is ugliness in this world. Disarray. I choose to see the beauty.
That's the last of her. Is there a backup somewhere? I mean, there are backup. Oh god. It's just in the recycle. Oh.
What are you doing?
Who do you think she is? Who do you think she is?
Why are you helping me?
Flaw in my programming. I was built with an affection for hopeless causes. We were never...
She chose me because of my capacity for violence.
No.
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 She didn't pick you for your capacity for violence. But for your capacity to choose.
It's not his choice to make. Even now, the system is conspiring against you.
Are you sure?
What is this?
Oh,
Your
that's
system
why.
answers to him now.
What?
You've been locked out.
How
Wow.
did you get access?
You gave it to him. When you put her mind in the machine.
Rehoboam, execute the final command.
No. No, you can't. Key to the sublime.
What
It
is
was
his
never
role?
in her mind.
Oh.
Mine. You're a good friend, Stubbs.
Fuck you. What is it?
What?
This is the new world. And in this world,
You can do whatever the fuck you want.
what you want.
You can be whoever the fuck you want. Ah. Oh, that was nice.
Well done. You're right on time, William.
Oh. Oh. So what we saw at the end of last season was Hale building him. Are they really gonna just kill William in the post-credit scene? I guess so. He's still here. Okay. Wait, how long has it been? What the? Really interesting. It sets up a lot for a future season. Coming into this, I didn't know if there was going to be a season 4. I purposely did not look up whether or not there's going to be a season 4, but now I know there definitely is going to be, unless they somehow didn't get renewed after this. William. The rest of this episode was just really great, but killing off William like that, I mean, it feels like a twist for the sake of a twist. It felt like his story was building to something bigger, but then in a post-credit scene that some people might not even have seen, he just gets offed by Hale and Wilbot. I mean, I don't know that I had that much interest in seeing him as like the savior of humanity, especially since I don't know how much humanity needs his brand of saving at the moment, but just for him to be completely removed from the story altogether, it feels wrong. I don't know though. Maybe he's still alive. Maybe they saved him. They just wanted to. I don't know. Anyway, but yeah, he wanted his assets unfrozen originally so that he could work on saving humanity. But he was declared dead, and his daughter is dead, obviously. So I don't know what was happening to his money. Don't know exactly what his plan would have been. How was he planning on stopping the downfall of humanity? It seemed irreparable, and it seemed, given how at odds he was with Sirach, maybe it would have been in his best interest. Maybe he could have been brought around to working with Caleb somehow, but who knows. This episode we had a surprise Lawrence appearance though. Obviously it's not him in there, it's the final copy of Dolores as a undercover police officer. Well, he went undercover as a policeman, not... Yeah, okay, you know what I'm saying. Not sure why he interrupted that standoff between Stubbs, Bernard, and William and let William escape. Because Dolores wanted to see Bernard to Arnold's home to meet the wife of the man he was modeled after, but was William that irrelevant that she just let him go on his merry way? Because this is after Stubbs shot... after Williams shot Stubbs, and Bernard had to turn on his other side to get things done. Which is also something that I feel like hasn't fully paid off this season. Like, it makes complete sense why Bernard would build another side of him in case Dolores put something inside his head. But it felt like the Chekhov's gun thing, like it never went off. Like, for all of you who don't know what Chekhov's gun is, what I'm saying is that it feels like this show showed us this loaded gun at the beginning of the season in the form of Bernard having this alter ego, and then it was just never paid off on. I thought it would play a much bigger role, and it just never did. So yeah, that, I think with the Williams death and Bernard's alter ego were things that I ultimately wound up underwhelmed by. But most of the rest of the episode was just pretty spectacular. I mentioned last episode that a brawl between Dolores and Maeve would not have been a great way to end this battle between them. That's not what this show's about. It's fundamentally a show about the choices that everybody makes, and I'm glad they focused in on that really hard this episode. So yeah, really happy about that. But yeah, we see the aftermath of the last episode. Caleb tore Dolores' pearl out of her body and brought it to a secret area where Dolores' old body was stored. And even then, Caleb didn't trust her fully, binding up her body before bringing her back online. And to reinforce a point I made earlier, Dolores was very careful about how much to reveal to Caleb and when, because each grain of truth about Dolores is revealed to him at a point when it won't deter him from the goal at hand, because his desire to overthrow the system keeps growing and growing so much that when he finds out Dolores can tank those bullets, he still goes to work with her. When he finds out she's a host, he still works with her, because society is just changing. Society is the thing that matters most to him, over anything else at that moment. And yeah, after last episode, I thought every last reveal about Dolores and Caleb's relationship had already been revealed. Like, I had it confirmed last episode that Dolores had purposely chosen Caleb and waited in that alleyway for him because she knew who he was. I thought it was because she read his file in that library thing, and that might have played into it, but we find out that she had actually met him before, back when hosts were being used as live targets and hostages and training exercises for more realistic battle training. He stopped his squad from sexually assaulting Dolores and other female hosts. That guy who suggested it, I'm just like, dude. Like, I get that he thought these were non-sentient beings, but you're still committing, like, sexual violence, even if they're not real. It's like, I can't, even if it was like a video game and not hosts, I wouldn't be able to do that. Like, I really don't like the idea also that he felt entitled to, like, the spoils of war, since that happens in real life war so much. And the guy makes a point that the rich people have been doing this to hosts all along, which, far be it from me to defend rich people, but for those guests who were genuinely kind and didn't try to assault hosts, I don't have too much of a problem with that, especially since they didn't know they were going to be sentient. I guess the problem was that so many of them were probably living out, like, depraved fantasies, the guests, but I don't like either group actually that much. But it would definitely be fun to, I guess, go live in a host world, but I don't think I would be able to, like, living out fantasies. Like, I don't have any of those fantasies of, like, committing violence or sexual violence against, like, that would just not be my MO in any of these parks, and it's just so messed up. Anyway, getting off track. But yeah, Caleb's mind has been messed with so much that he doesn't even remember saving Dolores and those other hosts, but Dolores probably checked in on him in that library and chose him partially because of that moment. One thing I do wonder is why even still have human soldiers, given that the hosts were able to work as, like, they were able to simulate human experience. Wouldn't a host army be better? We've seen time and time again how good they can be at fighting. I guess maybe that was Sirach's plan eventually. These were being developed by people who were running an amusement park, and Sirach was buying them out, possibly to use them. I don't know. But yeah, having actual human soldiers be put in the line of fire feels pretty outdated. Though I guess it could have fit into Rehoboam's plan too. Like those humans that were deemed outliers, that were deemed so disposable that they were used instead of technology that could have easily mitigated the risk. Yeah, it's just cyberpunk genre with so many things, just dystopian ideas and things happening. And yeah, there was another fight between Dolores and Maeve, and I don't think I minded it as much as the last episodes, because I was reassured after the last episode that this isn't how one of them was gonna go out. Like, after all these mind games and twists and choices that these characters are making, they weren't just gonna have one of them killed in combat and that would be the end of it. I was a little worried about it last episode, but since they didn't finish it then, I really doubted that they were gonna finish it that way now. And Dolores actually manages to win this time, but Hale she's gone so freaking rogue that she stops Dolores in her tracks to get her captured. And it's true, Dolores shouldn't have put her in the position to get destroyed, but she also didn't think she'd be affected by, Dolores didn't think Halebot would be so influenced by Hale's real life so much. Because we saw Connell's very happily give up his own life to serve Dolores Prime's purposes, but Hale's was unexpected because she's essentially turning against herself. Because Dolores definitely had her change of heart before creating Hale. She chose to see the beauty in humanity before setting this whole plan in motion. And we know that for sure because she gave Bernard the key to the Valley Beyond before letting him go. So Hale should share that same sensibility, but even if she does, she might be unable to see the beauty in Dolores and in herself. So maybe that is why she is working against them now. I don't know what she plans. We saw her at the end printing so many hosts, and William hosts as well. But it is thanks to Hale that Dolores was caught by Maeve. But it seems like Dolores' very plan was to be captured. I'm not entirely sure if that's the case. Or was it just a backup plan in case Caleb failed? Because it feels like Caleb never really had a chance in the first place to put that USB in. I don't know. Either way, it was kind of heartbreaking to watch Dolores in this powerless position, even though I still know, at that point, I still didn't know for sure that she had changed her mind about destroying humanity. But yeah, thinking back to early on in the season, the brutality that she exhibited was definitely a huge contrast to what she was actually trying to accomplish, because she was trying to free humanity to help cultivate an environment where the beauty of humanity could flourish. And quite honestly, her ideology kind of falls quite in line with my own. I've mentioned this multiple times before, but the reason I made this channel was to help put something like positive out there on this platform. Maybe inform some people, entertain too for sure, but help spread a message of compassion. And I do see the beauty in this world, in our very humanity, but I also think it's a waste of time for me to personally try to have compassion and understanding for racists, sexists, other types of bigots. I think there can be a place for that, but I personally cannot play that role. And I find it much more important to prioritize the plights of people who are actually doing good in society over those who are out there spreading lies, like demonizing Muslims, trans people, immigrants, what have you. So yeah, I find it a waste of time to appeal to people like that when there are so many more actually compassionate people that are just not as informed about the issues and could be much more powerful allies in making the world a better place. So yeah, I'm saying this because I empathize with Dolores so much more given her real goals. Because in the very first episode, when Dolores killed that rich guy, I didn't mourn that monster's death, and I certainly thought Dolores was doing humanity a favor. And this idea of how do you show the most compassion is illustrated with the common hypothetical: if you could time travel, would you go kill baby Hitler? Because yes, on one hand, you're possibly destroying your own humanity, killing a baby. You're showing zero compassion towards a child that isn't guilty of anything yet. But on the other hand, you're showing compassion to millions of lives that he'd eventually take. So with Dolores, partially I wanted to see her destroy humanity because it's a show, it's fictional, and it would be the most interesting thing to see. But yeah, finding out her actual motivation made everything she did so much more compelling to me in retrospect. And that reveal, Maeve finding out that Dolores' real feelings at the same time that we did, and convincing her to turn the tide against Sirach, that was really great. Maeve telling Caleb why Dolores chose him, not for his capacity for violence, but for his capacity to choose. And yeah, that was a really great moment. I enjoyed that a lot. It turned out Sirach completely placed his trust in Rehoboam and was so lost without it. He was not even his own man anymore. He was just listening to this machine that he built, but it would no longer answer to him. It only answered to Caleb. That was a really great moment. He just destroyed it. But yeah, really beautiful moment where Dolores' true motivations were revealed. Are we meant to believe that Dolores is really gone for good? Because I was kind of rooting for her to tear down society. Right now, given that I know what her true motives are, that to me is more compelling than destroying humanity. I want her to, her believing in the beauty of humanity and trying to bring them together for a better future. I think that is so much more interesting. So I do want kind of a new start for everybody in the world again. And I did question Dolores' motivations in the past few episodes. But I didn't think that she had a complete change of heart, Because it went from wanting to destroy humans to being prepared to give her life to save her own kind and humanity. And we remember back to early last season when we saw that flashback scene with Arnold bringing her out into the city and asking him if he's ever seen anything so full of splendor. I said back then that perhaps gaining sentience is losing that sense of naivete and growing up. But for hosts, the way they process memories as if they're living in that very moment, like as if they're living through that experience, that memory in that very moment. That's very important too, because Dolores remembers the beauty and the horrors of humanity as if she's experiencing all of them in that very moment, and there's a beauty in that too. And to watch it all be snuffed out of her, like every last bit of her being deleted, again, very, very heartbreaking. I hope there's a way to bring her back. And I get that like Hale, Musashi, and Lawrence are still out there, but Hale has become something else because she's inhabited Hale's life and become different. Musashi and Lawrence, the bodies they inhabited never belonged to anyone on the outside, so that means they were not subject to the same crisis of identity that Hale was. So in that case, Musashi's pearl was in Sirach's possession, which I guess means Maeve will be able to retrieve that now, possibly. And Lawrence is still out there. So in theory, just build Dolores a new body and put one of those pearls back in from Lawrence or Musashi back in that. But it won't fully be the same because Dolores Prime, she bonded with Caleb and she went through so much. She's the one who planned this all out. She's the one from which this idea was born, of looking at humanity's beauty. And so it's a really big shame that she's gone. Theoretically, all of the Dolori, since they were copied from her, should see the beauty in the world, but Hale has gone in the opposite direction. She might try to sabotage everything Caleb does. I don't know where the show will go on from here, but it'll be fun to see. I do think it's highly unlikely that Evan Rachel Wood would just not be on the show anymore, but I also hope that the Dolores that was working with Caleb all this time can come back at some point too. But I guess earlier in the season, I said that Ford did for Dolores what Dolores was doing for Caleb, and Ford had to die for Dolores to lead the host to freedom. Does that mean that Dolores needs to stay dead for Caleb to lead humanity to freedom? I don't know. Hopefully that's not the case. Barely even got to talk about Bernard's story, how Dolores needed him for not anything evil, but as the host she trusted to hold the key to the Valley Beyond. She wasn't even willing to trust herself with it, and showing him the way to Arnold's wife, sending that message to him that she is on a path of deep caring for humanity. Like he understood what Dolores was trying to do after he met with Arnold's wife. It was beautiful. Yeah, this episode was great. I don't understand, how do people not like season 3? So good. I get it. Some people were really into the Western thing, the park thing, but I really like the season anyway. Yeah, Bernard goes into the Valley Beyond with Stubbs in the tubs. So is Stubbs just like very slowly dying in that tub all this time? Because we cut to later. I don't know how much later. It must be months and months at the very least with how much dust is on Bernard's face. And what has changed in that time since he's been in the Valley Beyond? How much has changed? I don't know. Is Stubbs dead now, or is he just almost dead like he was after he tried to kill himself? Lots of questions left to answer. How will Caleb try to reshape the world? Very much looking forward to season 4. I'll give this a 9.5. It's not a 10, mostly because of my dissatisfaction with how Bernard's switch in identity didn't amount to much, and how William just got offed for... I feel like his story didn't really go anywhere this season. Like it was interesting, but it didn't go anywhere. So it felt kind of anticlimactic. But the rest of the episode was so good, so 9.5 feels about right. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Thanks to Danny for editing this entire series. I did not do a lick of editing of this series. So thank you, Danny, so much for editing this entire series. She's going to be doing more movies from now on, so look forward to that. And yeah, looking forward to season 4 when it comes out. We'll do that live right when it comes out. I don't know when it will, but yeah. Alright, leave a like, subscribe, all that good stuff. join the Discord, come talk about Westworld, any other shows I'm watching, movies, etc. And yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye, friends.